Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Pre-Market News and Views by In the Money Stocks. Today is Wednesday, November 20th, 2013. Thank you for tuning in. Let's jump right into the charts here. We're going to start off with the usual S&P 500 E-mini futures. And you'll see that the futures are getting a little bit of a bid now. They were trading down to around the 1782 level. Now they're positive by about $2 to around 1787 and a quarter, 1787 and a half. Right up here. So decent little move. There was some economic news that was just announced a few minutes ago. Again, I don't even know if we should really make much out of it, but it is what it is. It looks like the market has inched up over some economic data that was just released. So again, it looks like U.S. consumer prices declined 0.1% in October. Retail sales climbed 0.4% in October. So again, you could read all into that stuff if you want, but the bottom line is we care about the price action. That's what makes money. That's what loses money. And in this case, the E-minis, I should say, the S&P E-minis are moving a little bit higher. So we'll see how the market plays out once the opening bell rings today. Overall, you do have the European markets down a little bit this morning. The German DAX is only down about 0.1%. But Spain and Italy are both lower, and you do have Spain down another 1% today. So Spain took a hit yesterday, is taking another hit today. Overnight trading in Asia, the Nikkei 225 index was down about 0.3%. The Shanghai was up 0.6%. But I don't know if we could make all that much out of it. If you look over in India, believe it or not, last night was down 1.2%. So you got to be a little bit careful today with the Indian ADRs. They're should be a little bit on the weaker side. That's a decent decline in India. All right, let's look at the some stocks on the move here this morning here in the United States. So with the futures up 2.5 points at the moment, let's see how stocks like Yahoo are reacting. Yahoo, I believe, is doing a share buyback. The stock is just so overbought right now. I don't know if traders should really buy into this at all at this stage of the game. After a pullback, I suppose you can be a buyer, but I would not be jumping on board the Yahoo train right now. It's just had too good of a move this year in 2013, so I'd let this thing pull back, but it looks like they're going to do a share buyback. I never understand for the life of me why companies will do a share buyback when their stock is at a high. Yahoo's stock is at probably a 7-year high, 8-year high. Why do a share buyback now? Why not? Why didn't you do it when the stock price was trading, much lower? You could have did it when the stock was trading at 14. But no, they're going to do it at 35. So it just never makes sense to me. I don't think shareholders should really be so happy about that. But it is what it is. They're doing a share buyback. I forget how much money they're putting into it. But either way, that is the news. Looking over JCPenney's today, the stock is getting a big bid. Pretty powerful move higher. Stock, believe it or not, has more upside simply for one reason. A short squeeze. So if a short squeeze comes into JCPenney's, it can go a lot higher, especially in the near term. I would not rule out a move up towards a $10 level. I know this is only a $9.50 equity, but depending if the institutions here can create a short squeeze, that will push the stock higher as shorts start to cover and they buy back into the equity. So again, JCPenney's doing fine today. Stock is up sharp in the morning, closed at 871 yesterday, trading at 950 now. So that's basically a 70-cent move to the upside. That's a big move in JCPenney's this morning. Stock that is not doing so well is Lowe's. Lowe's Co. is selling off a little bit today. Again, there's a lot of support at $48. So I think that 48 level, which was tested early this morning, is still going to be the line in the sand. If it breaks 48, then watch out. Stock could have some serious downside in the cards here. But at the moment, $48 is probably a very good support for Lowe's, at least from what I could see. I think traders could still see a bounce at that level. Let's take a look at Deere & Company. You'll see that Deere is catching a pretty decent bid. The stock closed at 82.81 yesterday. It's trading up at 85.65. I just don't see upside in this equity. Maybe it can go a little bit higher, but I just don't see it at all. So I think the stock already is hitting tons of resistance up here, and I think it will be deflected and sold back down. So there's not much I would do with Deere, but it is catching a bid before the opening bell. Now, last night, I just want to point out that Fed Chairman Ben Bernanke did give a lecture. I'm not sure exactly where it was. I didn't hear it, but I did see the headlines. And the headlines are basically him coming out saying that interest rates are going to stay exceptionally low for a considerable amount of time. There's nothing new out of that. There's no new revelations. There's no talk of QE tapering or anything like that. So I don't know how much we really can make out of it. But the truth of the matter is Ben Bernanke's a lame duck. Janet Yellen is the new Fed chairman, barring something happening before she gets sworn in. But either way, I really don't see any real change in tone here or anything like that. And it looks like the Fed's just going to keep their 0% interest rate on the Fed funds rate, and they're going to stay accommodative regarding quantitative easing, which is just more money printing to buy bonds with money purchased out of thin air. So that's where we stand right now. I just don't want to make anything out of it. I don't think there's anything that we can make out of last night's Ben Bernanke speech. Looking at oil this morning, you do have light sweet crude trading higher by about 34 cents. So if we take a look at the USO this morning, which is a good proxy for light sweet crude, that's trading up around $33.84. It's right over here. So a little uptick there in the oil markets. Now gold is getting hit a little bit today. Gold futures are down about $12 at the moment to around $12.61 an ounce. Let's take a look at the GLD, which is a good proxy for gold, and you'll see that's sitting right around 121.83. So nonetheless, gold is under pressure this morning before the opening bell. The GLD yesterday closed at 122.95, so you could see the decline in the GLD here. But either way, watch the charts. We'll see what it gives us once the opening bell rings. Gold is just not in a strong technical position right now, but believe it or not, it has not completely broken down, and that must be respected, at least in the near term. So that's what we have today. We'll see what this market gives us in the morning. It's been the best time for trading action. After that, the volume does get very, very light, so you want to take advantage of the morning hours. With that said, everybody have a great session, and we'll see you on the charts.